So, this is your host, Steve from the back, coming at you again, raw and unscripted, with another buck wild and crazy rant. So, this channel tries to be a cryptozoology channel. Whether it's successful or not, time will tell. But on this channel, this channel tries to also, amongst other things, be a cryptozoology type of channel. And so if you guys are in the community, I'm sure some of you guys have heard about the phenomenon of feral people, right? Of people encountering feral people. And there's a difference, not hicks and bumpkins, not hillbilly bumpkins that would be kind of like a country-esque wild person that is similar to myself, actually, even though I come from the city and I'm black. But let's just be real, you guys. You get a guy like me outside, automatically turn into a redneck as soon as I go outside. That's part of this rant. It's like, as soon as you go outside, some of us, we just go back to the wild. Like, as soon as you put us outside and outdoors, and we spend enough time out there, we just revert going back to feral and wild, like, in seconds. It's like if you let a dog outside, and you guys are like, where did the dog go? Your dog ever go missing? And you're like, where did he go? Like, maybe in for a few days. And you're just wondering, like, where does an animal go? What does an animal do when it's lost, and not lost, but it's like off the leash and has run away and doesn't feel like coming back and eventually comes back? And no one can find it, and you're wondering what it's doing. Well, people were the same way. You let a person go out, they're going to explore. You let a person out unconstrained, without time constraints. Let's say 5 days of no work, 5 days, free days. They have all the stuff that they could need, or especially if you're really good at surviving, you get out there, you're going to go do what you're going to do. You're going to explore, you're going to hike a little, you might climb. You have adequate food, adequate drink. You're going to actually exercise while you're out there. You're going to climb trees, rocks. You're going to crawl around. You're going to be probably so deep into stuff that, like, no one's going to know you're there. You know what I'm saying? No one's going to probably even barely notice you, or even the signs of your presence being there. And it would be the same thing as if an animal got out there and, just started roaming around, and then inevitably will go back to where it came from, or go back inside, or wherever it normally is. So, we all have heard about these feral people, and they're not, they're a couple types. Like, there are feral people that are more or less, quote, normal people, but these are more like your hillbilly people, mountain people. Those are more like people who decide that they just want to thrive in the outdoors, and they just want to be in the outdoors, and there are people like that. But then there are also, let's just be real, you guys, there are the half-breed people that are out there that are like me and you, but the main difference is they are genetically interbred with creatures that are out there. I don't really know what to call it, because it's too complicated to explain all, like, the names. Like, there's Sasquatch, there's Bigfoot, there's things that are very strange out there that we know of. There are people out there that are mixed with those beings, whether the conception was consensual or not. Let's just be real, sometimes it's not. I'm not going to say that rape doesn't happen, because it does. It has happened. But it's not always unconsensual, honestly. Some people say, no way, there's no way a person's going to consensually procreate with one of those creatures. No, you don't know. Yes, there are. There are people that have under circumstances have procreated willingly with other beings, and it still goes on to this day. But what I'm saying is, there are some of those people out there that are feral, I wouldn't say primate, but they're primate-like, these wild people that are out there, and I think that's the best word I can call them. And they are still human, but they're genetically mixed with something else, and to the point to where you may not be able to quite tell what you're looking at, and you know something's off. You know what I mean? Like, we know what an ape looks like, you know what a person looks like, and you kind of picture someone in between. You know, like, you think of these depictions of these sort of gnome-like, bearded, long, gangly-armed creature type of beings or whatever. There's things out there. There are creatures like that out there. And they're people, but they're feral. And by every word of feral, they are feral. They are not like me and you that got brought up in school and lived in a house and ride the bus and took the bus and all these things. They may have never even seen like an actual shower with pipes or actually used a running toilet or any of that. You know what I mean? And I don't really know. There's not much that's known exactly about these type of feral people, but they exist. They're out there. You know what I mean? They are a thing. But one thing I have to talk about is like, and I always talk about this on this channel, is like, you know, at the end of the day, we're not that different, really. We're really no one's really that different. You know, doesn't everybody get excited and go wild when they are let out, when they are let loose? In a way of, yes, of course. Are these beings or these people live out there, so there's not really much like that to let them loose. They're always loose. You know, they're always been out there. Are there big differences between us and them? Yeah, there are. Are probably these beings necessarily not exactly so keen on being friendly towards a person? Probably, and for good reason. Just like the same, you know, it goes back and forth, like to where, see, we don't live in a world necessarily where the foundation is laid to where peace, like real peace, should be where it is. You know, it's not like we are in a state where people are so enlightened anymore, honestly, to where they're going to try to make efforts to try to like integrate with each other and live in peace. You know what I mean? That's not like the first thing on people's list. People nowadays, everything is about capitalism. Everything is about money. Everybody's a money whore. You're a bunch of filthy whores. I'm just gonna say it. Fuck it, I'm saying it. You got a bunch of people who are just whores. Just literally, just straight up whore. They're such whores. Just like, it's always about money. It's always trying to get money out of you in some way or some fashion. Even in like the legal system, there's all like programs in place where it's like you always have to pay a fee. So it's like someone gets paid, person that is protecting you gets paid, people that are putting you in a program get paid. It's so disgusting in a way. Like, it makes sense, but it's like, damn. So you mean to tell me it's not just a service that you're doing? It's always, someone is always getting paid? And it's just a funnel. It's someone getting paid and someone's getting paid, and now you're paying out of your pocket and you're paying. It's like, okay, so you're telling me this is really all about money. It's just about money. So that's the biggest thing. Everything you see online is fucking sensationalism. I make YouTube videos, but one thing I don't think I do is I don't think I ever sensationalize anything. You know, like, if anything, I try to make my thumbnails, content titles humorous. So it's funny, you know, so it's somewhat maybe not relatable exactly yet, but relatable in the humor aspect, you know? So it's like, but I don't sensationalize. I don't try to tell people, like, I don't use words that are trendy, BuzzFeed, buzzy. Like, I don't try to use these stupid little words and word things in a way and post things in a way that is like over the top. That's a clickbait, you know, like. And if I do ever do that, it is really simply because I realize that, like, it's hard to get people to listen to anything of actual value because people do not want to listen to things of value. People are some of the most shallow, especially nowadays in this modern time, people are some of the most dumbed down, shallow, dumb-ass, childish fucking people that you ever meet. Like, they don't want, it's like they don't even want knowledge. They don't want real knowledge. They're afraid of real knowledge. They're soft. They are like babies. You guys are gay. So sorry, I'm just saying. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. You guys are gay as hell. Like, literally. Like, it's like 1 in 5. Not even just men, like women almost. It's like, it's literally like 1, but I find it's men more often. Like, it's like 1 in 5. Why is it like 1 in 5 of you people? Literally 1 in 5 of you people are gay as fuck. Like, I don't even know what's happening to this world. Like, it's not even, the natural order of things isn't even in effect anymore. Like, it's like everything is a gamble. It's like you can't even like expect what's the norm anyway. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm just saying, you people are some of the most, like, and I'm saying you people because I'm not exactly in that category of any of that. Like, I'm not a person who is that shallow, like, or a person who is queer or whatever. Just saying. Like, sorry, you guys. Hey, just keep it real. You know, it is what it is. You guys are fucking weird, and you guys are like retarded. Like, it's really weird. It's just weird. Literally, it's like people want to see things that have no value. Like, you want to see dumb shit. You're into that whole TikTok type of culture and humor where it's just like, okay, it's kind of funny a couple times. Now let's like actually learn something. You don't want to learn anything. You want to literally sit here and fucking zone out and just watch bullshit all day. You want to hear about stupid shit. Some of you people. A lot of this mainstream stuff, that's what I'm seeing from people. It's just like, it's so annoying. It's like, what is wrong with you people? Like, why do you, it's like, you don't want to believe anything that's actually true. You don't want to take any real constructive criticism. You don't want to hear any advice that's actually going to challenge you. So then what's your end goal? Like, what's your real purpose? So you're telling me that you just put yourself in the category of junk. It's like, you know, there's junk mail. You're kind of like junk mail. Like, you just put yourself right in the category of just junk, fluff, nonsense, hot air. No one gives a fuck. And you're just okay with that. Okay, whatever. But, that's one thing I really can't stand. And you see a lot of that done with tools like, sensationalism, you know? Bending the truth. Way bending the truth. Not even bending the truth. Sometimes just straight up lies. Sensationalism. You know? Trending. It's like trending culture. It's literally like, you guys, one person, I literally see the most like clone type of videos of each other. It's like, oh, so one person rants on one thing, then the other person really rants on the same thing in a different way, and then the third and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth rant on the same damn thing a certain way. Like, you guys are fucking little vampires. Like, an incident happens, and then one person talks about it, and now the other person has to talk about it, and the other person has to talk about it, and then the person that's actually involved in this thing, or not witnessed it firsthand, or that actually, and I'm not talking about cryptid stories, I'm talking about just other shit that's just stupid, that actually no one should really be paying attention to. Scandal type of shit. It's like scandal shit. It's so fucking annoying. You guys literally are just like, piggybacking off the next person. You're like, oh shit, the algorithm, that's trending, so let me make a rant about it. And then the thing that annoys me is it's actually successful. For those who do it, and you already have a platform, so it's even more successful. It's like, oh my god, I just watched this video. I'm like, really? You just covered the same fucking story that everyone else covered. Stop covering the same fucking story, you guys. This is just an issue I have. It's like, it's too much. There's too much of that nonsense. It's like, too much of that, and then not people focusing on like what I'm talking about now. You know what I mean? And what I'm talking about is like the fact that, one, we live in a society that I wouldn't call it the Matrix, but I'm saying that there are parts of this society that actually are like similar to the Matrix, which is it's basically false. It's not really real necessarily. Your money is a false perception. You know what I mean? Like, our money is a false perception. Your security is a false perception, is a false security. Because it can be taken. The game is, the lie is, you work hard for your money, you pay for your bills, your electric, whatever, you have a lock on your door, you can call authorities, but somehow you're actually really protected, because you're actually not. And like, second, the money is that you're working for money that we already are in debt. So where is this money coming from? You know, is it really real money, or is it a fucking illusion? You know, is it something just to distract you? You know, so you have to really realize another illusion is the fact that you think that because of your status, or you think that because you get to a certain status, you now either have more sway with the law, or whether you really do or you don't, or you think that you have the real right, truly, spiritually, to treat people a certain way, simply because you now have this status and you have this status and position. So, which is an illusion, you know, and which could be taken away from you almost as fast as you got it. So it's all pretty much bullshit and it's all an illusion. But, you know, like I say, we're all just animals, just enjoying the luxuries and also enjoying the challenges, because some people enjoy, you know, the challenges of being human beings, living in this life and living in this type of program and system that we're all in. But you also have to realize that a lot of this is just a fucking sham. That's all it is. It's just a sham. It's like a play. It's like when they have, like, you know, a backdrop that they put up, and they put up everything's a prop, everything is just fake. That's all this really is anyway. So that's all I'm saying, you know. So I'm saying, like, you know, we're sitting here working so you can retire, working so you can get old, working so you can struggle when you're old, and then when you're old and you think you're retired, you realize how bored you actually are, and then in your dwindling years, think that you're going to do things to try to, like, give your life meaning, when actually you should have had the freedom to build a foundation mentally and spiritually that whole time, but instead you were slaving. And see, that's the illusion. The illusion is that you're not just a battery that is meant to be drained and sucked up and used to perpetuate a disgusting machine that's already corrupt. Because that's what this is. That's actually what this really is. So, I'm just saying that that's what's going on. And some people criticize, like, Gen Z. They say, oh, well, these Gen Z are sick of, like, they don't want to work, or they say they can't work, or they say they're sick and tired of... Look, the funny thing is this, there's two sides to that argument. Now, one side is this, is that realistically, you have a low percentage of not being able to work, ever. But then also, there's nothing wrong with you hating the idea that you have to get up and do something that you don't want to do day in and day out. Like, matter of fact, it would be perfectly okay if you were to commit suicide or do whatever you needed to do to escape, because it's no different from a slave running away from a fucking plantation. It's no different. It's like literally, what do you mean? You tell me you're being forced to get up when you're not ready to get up, eating what you don't want to eat, thrown into an environment you don't want to be in, and then you are against your will held and literally made to work and enslave? There's nothing humanly right inherent about that. There's nothing right about that. There's nothing humane. There's nothing. But yet and still, we all do that on a daily basis, and we just say, oh, well, it's the way it is. This system is built how it is. There's no, there's no alternative. So that means you're just settling for something that's an extreme injustice all over the world, every day. I always pose the question, so then how come we can't live in a society that's advanced enough that we found ways around that? No, right? But no. But see, the thing is, wrong is wrong. Right is right, but wrong is wrong. People need to answer for why things are wrong. And people also have a moral responsibility, I feel like, to do certain things that are right and to not overstep their boundaries to a certain extent. So there's always like two sides, but you have to understand there is a point with that. You know what I mean? Like, where you need to realize that, like, it's the world's flaw of why we have to work and why you have to do these things and we have to live and suffer in such a way. And also, you have to understand, a person is not a machine. A person has an emotional psyche. So, if you're not being compensated 100% for what you're lacking emotionally, and you are a cog in a machine working, well, then that's also a great injustice, in my opinion. Like, why are people, why the hell are there not things put in place to make sure that people are not fulfilled wholly? But I guess it's the American dream. It's your responsibility to go out and to find everything yourself. Oh, you mean to tell me in an extremely chaotic society where there's like barely a high percentage of you getting anything you want in life, in like day to day, you mean to tell me that it's your responsibility as an adult and a child? Because let's be real, us as people are basically adults before we're adults. We have to become adults, most likely, before we are actually adults. We have to function as an adult before we are even ready to be an adult, and then by the time we're an adult, we're already been an adult that has made a bunch of mistakes, and then see what I mean? How it's just disgustingly fucked up all around. And that's the world we live in. It's almost like we live in hell, like as if this world was hell, and it's just like a very seemingly civil hell, and only people that are very, very unfortunate die quick deaths and maybe die in very brutal ways, or maybe are very defiled in many ways, and like it's usually only crimes, I'll put the quotation marks, that happen where those things happen to people. But really, still, if you take everything in consideration, we are living in a chaotic, hellish realm that there seems to be very few people who ever really have peace or have time or have success or have money or have real happiness or have, like, it's such a small, tiny, it's like such a tiny speck that is those people, that what is this? You know what I mean? And that's just the way I see it. That's the way I see it. It's like it's so disgusting. It doesn't really matter. Lives don't matter. People always try to say, oh, all lives matter, black lives matter, white lives, and really no lives matter at this point. It really doesn't. Nothing really matters, because this is chaos. Like I've talked about before, this is like you being dumped in hot grease, and now someone's asking you to make decisions while you're on fire. That's what life is like. It's like literally every second you're you're in a chaotic state that you were just trying to do anything to get away from the pain of your constant existence, you know. So I don't want to hear it, you guys. That's this thing. I don't want to hear people say certain things. I don't believe the hype. I don't believe that, like, oh, we have all this stuff figured out as a culture. I don't want to hear that whatever is out there in the wild is bad and that we're all good here and we're the good guys. And I don't want to hear no one's fucking bullshit, because in reality, if you compare everything that is supposed status quo, everything that is supposed like common knowledge, everything that supposedly your etiquette, everything that supposedly makes us here feel like we're this or that or whatever, where are you coming, where are you actually getting this sense of self from? Because in my opinion, it's a very false sense of self. It's a false sense of self that you are getting, because in all honesty, you don't really know what your true self is. How come us as a race can't really explain? Like, we try to explain, like, you have this bullshit out of Africa theory. You get the hell out. You mean tell me, you're trying to tell me that everyone came out of you're fucking out of your mind. That everyone came out of Africa and changed somehow into something. Like, come on. You can't even tell me how any of this actually really happened. Even you scientists that try to claim you know. So if you can't even, you have no sense of self. You have an imagined sense of self. You don't have a real sense of self. You know, because you can't. Really, almost none of us really can. You know? We're just as lost as an ant, how an animal doesn't really know what it is or where it came from, or we're just as lost. And like, good for those beings that may actually know where they actually came from, or know their story, their actual real true history. But see, we don't even really know, so I don't know. This is what I mean about how you guys act like we're so separate from everything else, but you're really not. You're not. And you also have to remember, like, you have to think of things like this. Think of how, you know, your past is actually part of your present. You know, like, what you're experiencing now, that is your present now, is actually your future. Because in the past, before this came, this was your future. You get what I'm saying? And when you die, there is no end. You know what I mean? So you even have to think of, like, how do you think of time? You know, like, how do we really think of time and events, and how do you know, I look at it like this. What you do here mostly matters to you, because now you realize that your life is not in this way. Your life like this, necessarily, is not forever. So there's an inkling to tell you, like, you may want to have good experiences while you're alive, you know, and that's reasonable. That's just kind of reasonable, you know, like, duh. But like I said, when you look at it in the perspective of how, like, it's really going on, it makes you really think, like, I may not want to actually prescribe, like, you know, like, some of these things, general, just common things people say, or their mentality, you know, it's like, I don't know if that's really, if I really want to align myself with that, because it seems kind of more or less shallow to me. Like, that seems really shallow, closed-minded, and very dumb, actually. As smart as you think you are, see if you're actually really dumb. You know, like, to think like that. And this is what I mean about how, like, what is all of this common knowledge coming from, really? Where is this really coming from? You know, how come no one's questioning this? No one is questioning the fact that you have, on the left per se, right? No one is questioning that you have degenerates. Let's just call them as they are, you know what I mean? You got these weirdos. You got people who are supposed to be strong, but they're soft little fruity boys. You know? You have women that their heads in the clouds. You know what I mean? They're supposed to be thinking rationally, but they're perpetuating nonsense. Like, calling things microaggression. People who are like the weirdest one-off freak show, sideshow, want representation in every goddamn thing, like as if it's a serious like thing. Like, you mean to tell me you really want something that bad that you don't really need that bad? Come on now, man. And this is what I mean. And then you got like people putting so much money into marketing this stuff and like pushing it out in the media and trying to convince people of things. Why are you doing all this? Like, shouldn't you be shouldn't you be concentrating on other things like what I'm talking about now? Like, shouldn't you be concentrating on like, okay, what's outside past your computer screen, outside, like literally out in the wild, outside of your cities? Why are you not venturing out there and focusing on that? Because you gotta understand, if there is some place that is unsurveilled so long, you may want to ask the question, how come no one's looking for answers there? How come you're always looking for answers in the same place? You know, they say like the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over and over and expect a different result. Well, that's all you guys are doing. It's like, why are you focusing on goddamn queer shit, microaggressions, racial shit? Why are you so focused on like the stupidest little shit that doesn't mean a lot? It only means a lot to little babies and weirdos who are in a weird little category, like I said, that are one-offs, that are sideshow, freak show, one-off weirdos who have big heads and complexes, and that can't come to grips with who they are or whatever, or they can't just be quiet and be who they are. They always have to make a scene. Everything has to be about them. Everything has to be a fucking big show, crybaby show, whatever. Why are you guys focusing on all that? That's what I have to ask. You know, what's going on here? You know, why are you looking in the same places for different answers when you already know that you've gotten nowhere there? Is it that you're too scared to look somewhere else, or is it what is this really going on? What's going on? What's actually going on here? That's my question. You know, that's my fucking question. So I feel like it's gonna take very brave people who think outside of the box. People who are willing to actually try to think outside the box. People who have different opinions to a degree to come together. People who are rational, but also at the same time, like I said, think outside the box. You know, all of this sensationalism and weird cultural shit that you guys keep pushing is never going to work because it never could work. Do you get what I'm saying? It's kind of like how, I don't know what's a good analogy to call this, but it's kind of like a way out there, far out there diet that just doesn't work, and like people keep trying to trend with it, and you're trying to be trendy, but that's all you're doing is trying to be trendy. There's no real functional, real base, no real strong basis to this. You get what I mean? Like, if there's no basis, there's no real strong, proven basis to it, so you are just bound to fail. But yet and still, people just keep on recycling and keep on pushing, and I feel like a lot of it is to distract people. It's like you want to give people something to focus on while they're slaving, you know, or God forbid, the person who doesn't have to slave, who actually is well off enough to not have to, but they're still brain dead. It's like you're still focusing on the dribble. You know, like I said before, earlier in this rant, we are not that different from anything that's out there. that's my perspective. That's how I ran on this cryptid channel. We talk about cryptid stories and spooky camp stories and ghost stories, and we talk about it, but we also put it in real perspective. Like, look, this is not just to have fun and just to get your chills on your spine and ooh, that's spooky. This is not that. This is not. We don't tell stories. We don't talk about this stuff just to be like everybody else. We just talk about this stuff to make people aware of it, but we also speak some truth and bring some actual enlightenment into this world to tell people, like, look, you need to start interacting with everything else that's out there. As a matter of fact, you need to shift the paradigm of this planet. Period. You need to society, culture, everything. It all needs to it needs to shift over completely into an age to where people are actually more spiritually aware, to the point that they're focused now on other beings. They're focused on their spiritual enlightenment. They're focused on what the actual truth is, instead of being focused on dumb internet shit and dumb culture shit and like fashion and trends and shit that you can't even reach. Let's just be honest. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but let's be honest. If you're some person out there that, like I said before, like, you can't even come to grips with who you are as a person, or you're living a closeted life or a double life or whatever, you don't interact with people with your true self. You don't go out and like go into circles and you don't even, it's almost like, so you're not even touching on what you're such a consumer of. Like, if you sit there and you watch video, like okay, I'll give you an example. Like me, I'll give you an example. I go out, when I see women I like, I talk to women. I'm just like, when I feel like interacting with people, I have conversation with people, with strangers. I talk to people, especially women. I talk to women. The way I date is I go out and I'll talk to a woman. I'll gather information. You know what I mean? I don't cower like these weird, like, this is what I'm talking about. You 1 in 5, 1 in 3, bisexual, soft, big bi, gay men, or whatever the fuck you are, weirdos. I don't roll like that, bro. I'm old school. I go, I approach, I see a woman I like, I talk to her face to face. I have enough balls. I'm a man. If you can't even go out and you don't even like talk to people when you feel like it, if you don't even have the courage to do that, or like I said, you're actually gay, you're actually this, you're actually whatever, so you're like hiding who you are, you're not out there. Well, I'll say some of you maybe you are, but I'm saying you're not even into the mix of your own culture, because you are fake, because you're ashamed of what your culture actually is. So you're not out there interacting with your own people. You're not. This is another issue. I mean, with people, it's like, you guys are fake. You guys are weak. You guys don't, it's like you guys don't mix with what you're even your own self. You're a consumer. What you do is you watch other people live their lives or watch other people have fun and gawk at it. You watch your internet videos or your fucking porn videos, or you watch your YouTube videos or your movies or whatever, and you are too cowardly to try to even be that person. You know what I'm saying? It's just all fucked up. So it's like you're literally watching other people. You're not trying to be the TikTok person. You're not trying to be that person. You rather watch that person and consume that person. It's like when people watch so many sports, but you won't even do a fucking pull-up or a sit-up or lift a damn weight or run or do anything or train for it. You don't even do nothing.
Even if you have the opportunity, this is what I mean. Like, even if you've been given the opportunity, or even know people that train, that do this, you ain't doing. You just sit there, you just watch, consume. You don't need so. You don't even like I said, you don't even. And nothing's wrong with if you're just a spectator or anything. But what I'm saying is, I'm talking for people that know they are of a culture or something, but they don't even go into that because they are actually that programmed. And this is what I mean about this whole Matrix programming thing. This whole hellish world that is the supposed, normal human realm of whatever you guys want to call it that we live in. What you see when you turn your YouTube on all the time. When you scroll down, when you see all this shit and you see like it's a copy of a copy, like you see like, wait, this is the same story that was cut, and this is the same, they're using the same language, the same trendy things. And you're like, God damn, what the fuck is going on here? YouTube's algorithm likes people to have big ass pictures of themselves with their mouth hanging open, looking cheesy as hell, looking like a damn Nintendo Switch cuck meme with their mouth open like the soy boy mouth. I'm like, I don't want to make that gay ass face. I'm like, if I post a video and I need to have a face pic so it recognizes it's a face so it gets more views, I'm not opening my mouth like I'm about to fucking shove what is it called? A fucking 13-inch Polish kielbasa down my throat like some fucking like some fucking gay dude. I'm like, bro, I'm not making that fucking face. No, that's not me. Maybe that's you. That's fine if that's you, but it ain't me. Like, what's up with this? Why is this so dumb? Why is everything so dumbed down? Like, you have to make a childlike fucking face with your mouth wide open, like you're a gape mouth, like a hinge mouth, with your mouth wide the fuck open for YouTube to recognize that it's a goddamn face. Like, come on, man, that's just like humiliating. Like, no one's doing that unless you're really about that life. Like, look, if you're about that type of shit, fine, good for you. That's fine. But if you're not, I'm not fucking putting my face up on there like that, looking like a cartoon fucking character. Where's Waldo with your mouth all open? Get out of here with that shit, man. But some of you guys do it and you're successful. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put your face with this goofy ass like expression. So YouTube, like, who the fuck designed the algorithm to only read this? See, this is what I mean by the problem. What is with this infantilization? It's okay to have humor, but what is with this gay infantilization that's going on with this culture nowadays? Like, where everything on YouTube has to look like. I'm like, this is not fucking Blue's Clues, you guys. I'm sorry, you guys, but this is not Blue's Clues. Like, yes, we have fun. Yes, we can be infantilized in a way. We all have fun. Like I said, we go crazy. You let us out in a certain place, we go wild, we have fun. But we are still who we are. I am not Steve from Blue's Clues. I am not putting my face on YouTube looking like that. Because it's not me. And then you also have the toxic culture that calls it toxic to just be a man and to be stoic and be who you are. And you're not a soy boy with your mouth gaping way open like someone's about to hit a foot-long sub down somebody's fucking throat. Like this is the gay section of fucking Pornhub. But you guys just, I don't know, like I said, it's an agenda. I don't know why you guys want to twist everything, why you want to turn everything into something. I don't know why you guys want to do all that, but somebody really wants to twist everything upside down, you want to twist, turn. Jesus Christ. Like, I don't know, man. This is what I see with you guys. And that's just part of it. That's just part of this thing I don't understand. Like, culturally, like, you know, I don't understand what's going on with this, man. Like, to where you literally changed the, you have somehow changed the dynamic of human, I don't don't want to say physiologically, but to some degree, yeah, like you have changed. It's like overnight. It's like you have manufactured physiological and mental and emotional changes in people that may or not have would been there if you had not manipulated it. And not for the better. That's the thing that I really can't stand, is like, you didn't do it for the better. You know, it's not like you hear stuff about like, oh yeah, people are getting stronger. People are being born taller. People are being born more attractive. People are being born, with a calmer state of mind. People are being born with more, intellectual abilities or physical abilities, and like then I think, okay, well then it's an evolutionary step up. Like people are being born strong. Nah, that's not what I'm seeing. It's more like, nah, people are being born ugly, short, inbred looking, all types of fucked up mental disabilities. People don't know whether they are a man, a woman. People don't know. I'm like, yo, if that's the case, people are being born fucked. Like, people are being born mushed and fucked up and smushed and you're not coming out right. You're coming out fucked. Like, something's fucking wrong. Like I said, 1 in 5. If every motherfucker is either gay, bi, or doesn't, or in the closet of what they are, doesn't know what they are, and it's like I said, 1 in 5 fucking men or women, something's going on. Something's wrong there, because naturally that shit doesn't make sense, nor does it work. You know, like I said, you can't get a baby out of it. You get what I'm saying? It's not possible, bro. So, it can't be so much. It has to be more or less than it is more. But like I said, somebody's been doing some weird shit. I don't know how, but some shit is going on. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But I'm just saying, this shit is not good. Okay? It ain't good all around, all across the board. It's not good what's going on. Like, the shallowness, all of it. It's just not good. It is not a good thing. And honestly, to tell you the truth, this is not just about like infertilization, you know, people being infertile, basically, or mentally they're not fertile because they're not trying to even breed with a fucking woman anymore, or the woman's not trying to breed with a man anymore. It's not even just that, but it's the fact that psychologically, a lot of these people that are a newer generation are mentally depressed and fucked up. You know, that's what it is. They're more prone to commit suicide. They're more fucked up mentally. Not only are they more fucked up mentally, but the thing is this. They're more fucked up physically. That's the thing. They're weaker. It is what it is. They're weaker, literally, physically weaker. They're not, everything is falling apart. You know, everything's fucking falling apart. But the shallow culture that, on top of that, you only take a person who's already downgraded at birth, they're born a little fucked up, they're downgraded, then you slap on top of that the culture that they're put into a melting pot that is designed to actually fucking destroy them. You know what I mean? It's like, so what is going on here? Like, this must be a fucking grand scheme, if you ask me. And it must be working, you know what I mean? Like, somebody's doing something. Some people are doing things in such a way that they are destroying human beings. This is destroying the physical and the mental and the soul and the spiritual of a human being. This is destruction, you guys. This is not destruction as in like a physical, in your face, just like genocide. This is more of like a systematic, slow, grueling experiment, I would think, genocide almost, / experiment. That's just rampant. It's just like chaos. Like, when does this stop? Where's the point? Where's the end to this? You know, what is the end game? That's always my question. Like, what is the end game of this crap? You know, are things gonna change? Are things gonna get better? Or are things gonna get worse? I don't know. But this is shit I feel like you guys need to think about. You guys need to really think about this shit, man. Like, you need to be honest with yourself. You know, like, yeah, a lot of this stuff is touchy subject, touchy stuff. People don't want to hear it. People don't want to think about it. You know, I'm not even going to say, but some of the stuff I hear out of people's mouth, I feel like slapping them when they say things. I'm like, did you really just say that? Like, are you actually in denial about everything about your life? You know, are you that shallow and superficial that you, in this modern day, think it's okay to literally say something and then retract a statement and then lie and then claim that, like, if you're actually okay with that type of behavior, then something is really fucking wrong with you. That's how I look at it, like, because life is not so shallow that you can just always behave that way. It doesn't always work like that. And it does not always work out in your favor to ever be like that. Like, you know, it just doesn't. You know, imagine if, like, a doctor, that's what I always say, imagine if people who actually really had people's lives in their hands behaved like that. Then there would be way more fucking dead people and cataclysmic things that have happened. But it's because you have no responsibility, you run from responsibility, you are afraid of anything of substance, or you're afraid to ever work towards anything of substance in yourself, that you behave that way. And then you are coddled and you are taught by today's modern media and what is pushed mostly on the left, usually mostly on the right. They tend to more or less say the opposite. You know, like, be a man, be tough, pull yourself up, you know, do what you're supposed to do, don't run from your you know. It's mostly on the left with you guys, where it's like, you guys are babied, you guys are taught to be a straight up fool. Like, everything's a joke. Ha ha hee hee. You're oppressed. Oh, you can do no wrong. Everything. It's like, there's two sides to everything. It's not just, you can't just do that with everything. Like I said, if you do that with everything, no one can ever take you seriously, nor could you ever take yourself seriously. You know? And like I said again, it would make sense that you actually do hate yourself at that point, because, like I said, you hate yourself because you can never be that which you idolize. You hate yourself because you don't have it what's in you ever to be what you idolize so much. You know, you just it's like, you know that you're just too weak. You're just too. It's not gonna happen for you. You know what I mean? You just know, and you hate that. You know. So, like I said again, that is designed to destroy a person. And that's only for those who that pertains to. Like, but you have to understand, all of this stuff is designed to control and to completely annihilate a person's psyche, mental, you know, their mental, physical, spiritual. It is designed to hammer someone into powder, into nothing. You know, and it works very well. But that is not good. None of this shit is good. Like I said, the problem is with the culture, you guys. The problem is with the culture, is with this day's culture, is with this, especially in the media, is with the culture that is perpetuated. Why do you think you see this stuff in like hip-hop, where us as blacks, everything has to be like, it's okay to have a fetish, it's okay to be like who you are, it's okay to have fun, it's okay to have sexuality, it's okay to have all those things, and it's okay to openly and to confidently be who you are. But when you see this crazy, the most ratchet, like the what do you call it, like the Cardi B, everything has to be a twerk off, everything has to be, slut me out, all this crazy shit. It's everything has to be, somebody's tongue in somebody's ass in somebody's face, you know, everything has to be this ratchet ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Like the most, they try, it's like literally they try to up each other, like who can be the most ratchet, straight up hooker off the street bitch. Like that's not what anything is about. Like, you know, women know how to have fun, men know how, we know how to have fun, everyone knows how to have fun, but look, we know how to have some class. Like, we have some class. It's not, but you see what's perpetuated in hip-hop and in media, right? It's like the Cardi B, the Nicki Minaj. There's a reason for that. You know what it is? Like I said before, no accountability, no responsibility, degeneracy. You want to perpetuate it because it's a fantasy that is destructive, but it's attractive to people because it gives them a false sense that, like, oh, I could just be this, I could just do this all day, and the ratcheter the better, I could just do this, I could just do that all day, and I don't give a fuck. No, that's not exactly how that works. You get what I'm saying? That's not how reality actually works, you know? Like, that's not actually how things really work, okay? First off, that's a fucking music video that you just watched, you stupid bitch. And I'm not trying to be racist, but look here. Especially if you're white. Fuck. You just watched the most ratchet and ghetto black shit, and now because you see rappers and actresses doing it, your white ass thinks that shit's gonna work for you and that you're now gonna emulate it and do it. See, this is what I mean is the problem. So, it's already enough black people that it fooled into thinking that they actually can really just live that out. But now you're a white ass that actually is not even connected to, most likely, I'm not saying, because who knows, maybe you actually are from those areas, maybe you're immersed in that culture, but if you're not, fuck, you're even more fucked. Like, so now your white ass thinks that you're gonna take that on, and you're gonna emulate that. Actually, it might work better for you because you're white. Maybe. It just might. I don't know. But let me tell you this. When you get into some actual trouble behind your behavior and your actions, it may sink in that, like, that's not how things actually work. That's a fucking music video, you guys. That's not real life, okay? Stop trying to mix the two. This is what I mean. Like I said, you idolize things, you're harping over, you fetishize, you idolize things that you cannot touch. You need to realize that there is just a fantasy, it is just a video, it is just a music video. It is not a real reality. Okay? It is not, and these people are wealthy people who are artists. You have to also realize that too. These are not girls, hood rats that are actually real hood rats. Okay? That is not how that is. That is not how that works. So you guys need to understand, this culture, this toxic culture of, oh, we are so this and we are not like all the things we don't know about. We are so far from the unknown. You know, those animals and cryptids and those things out there, all that stuff that we don't know about, it's fringe, it's this, it's no. This is the fringe. This reality is the fucking fringe. This is a hellish landscape that you are in, if you haven't noticed, you dumbass. If you haven't noticed, you are right smack dab in the middle of the jungle. And it's not a good jungle. This is not fun. This is not a happy-go-lucky time. This is not that. This is serious. Okay? This is actual darkness. This is actual evil that is around you. Okay? Before you get to thinking that, like, everything evil is out. No. You need to realize how much power evil people have actually exuded to create this whole thing. You know? You have to realize how many places used to be flourishing plains, that used to be forested, that used to be places that indigenous people were in, and then you realize that those places were fucking destroyed. Those places were raped. Those places were ripped and torn up and turned into something that they were not intended to be. They were stolen. You need to understand what actually has happened here. You need to realize what you're actually living in. You know, but you may not want to believe that. But that's what it actually is. You need to realize that this fucking little bubble that is supposedly marketed to you as being so pretty and so civil in this, it's not exactly that. Okay? It's really not exactly all that. Okay? So let that shit sink in. Okay? Let it sink in. You know, have fun with the rant, watch the gameplay, have fun. But, you know, I just had to put that in here so, you know, and make you think about it. I think I'm going to cut the rant here. I've gone on long enough. I wanted to at least do maybe an hour or something. So, this is your host, Steve from the back. Coming at you again. This is Steve's Art and Fun. You know, like, comment, and sub. Hit the bell icon. And until next time, have a good one.